मंगलाचरण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा 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 हरे हरे। So today is Sanatan Goswami's disappearance day, and on 25th it is Gopal Bhatt Goswami's disappearance day. So I thought today we will have a kirtan to, meditate upon the Goswamis. Okay, so we will start with Goswami. Why nobody has joined yet? So Shad Goswami Ashtakam, there are 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, right? So Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Let's begin. कृष्णोत्कीर्तन गान नर्तन परौ प्रेमामृताम्भो निधि धीरा धीर जन प्रिया प्रिय करौ निर्मत्सरौ पूजितौ श्री चैतन्य कृपा भरौ भुवि भुवो भारावहन्तारकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनाय रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ नाना शास्त्र विचारनैक निपुणौ सद्धर्म संस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मन्यौ शरण्याकरौ कृष्ण पदारविंद भजना नंदेन मत्तालिकौ वंदे रूप सनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ श्री गौरांग गुणानुवर्णन विधौ श्रद्धा समृद्ध्यान्वितौ पापोत्ताप निकृन्तनौ तनुभृतं गोविंद गानामृतै आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनैक निपुणौ कैवल्य निष्ठारकौ वंदे रूप सनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रीनीं सदा तुच्छवात् भूत्वा गणेशकौ करुणया कौपीनकन्ताश्रितौ गोपी भावरसामृता विलहरी कालोलमग्नौ मुहुर्वन्दे रूप सनातना रघुयुगौ कुच्छत् कोकिल हंस सरस गुणा क्रीणे मयूराकुले नानारत्न निबद्ध मूल वितपा श्रीयुक्त वृंदावने राधा कृष्ण महर्निशं प्रजहतौ जीवर्तदौ यौमुदा वन्दे रूप सनातना रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ संख्यापूर्वक नाम गान नटभी कालास्वनी कृतौ निद्राहार विहारकादि विजितौ चत्यन्त दीनौ चयौ राधा कृष्ण गुणा स्मृतिर्मधुरिमा नंदेन सम्मोहितौ वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ राधाकुण्डतटे कलिन्दतनया तीरे च श्रीवटे प्रेमोन्मादव ग्रस्तौ प्रमत्तौ सदा गायन्तौ च कदा हरेर्गुणवरं भावाभिभूतौ मुदा वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ हे राधा व्रज देविके च ललिते हे नन्दसूनो कुता श्रीगोवर्धन कल्पपादपतले कालिन्दिवाने कुटा घोष्टान्ताविति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे केदैर्महाबिह्वलौ वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ. Can anybody translation? You can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can I read?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are always engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and dancing. They are just like the ocean of love of God, and they are popular both with gentle and with ruffians, because they are not envious of anyone. Whatever they do, they are all pleasing to everyone, and they are fully blessed by Lord Chaitanya. Thus, they are engaged in missionary activities, means to deliver all the conditioned souls in the material universe. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very...
You can skip the names.
Oh, okay, Mataji. Who are very expert in... Mataji, how to pronounce it?
Who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the way.
Scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, who are very much enriched in understanding of Lord Chaitanya and who are thus expert in narrating his transcendental qualities. They can purify all conditioned souls from the reactions of their sinful activities by pouring upon them transcendental songs about Govinda. As such, they are very expert in increasing the limits of ocean of transcendental bliss, and they are the saviors of all living entities from the devouring mouth of liberation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis who kicked off all association of aristocracy as insignificant. In order to deliver the poor conditioned souls, they accept loin cloths, treating themselves as mendicants, but they are always merged in the ecstatic ocean of the gopis' love for Krishna and bathe always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis who are always engaged in worshipping Radha Krishna in the transcendental land of Vrindavana, where there are beautiful trees full of fruits and flowers which have under their roots all valuable jewels. The Goswamis are perfectly competent to bestow upon the living entities the greatest boon of the goal of life. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis who are engaged in chanting the holy names of the Lord and bowing down in a scheduled measurement. In this way, they utilize their valuable lives, and in executing these devotional activities, they conquered over eating and sleeping and were always meek and humble, enchanted by remembering the transcendental qualities of the Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis who were sometimes on the bank of Radha Kunda Lake or the shores of Yamuna and sometimes at Vamsivata. There they appeared just like the madmen in the full ecstasy of love for Krishna, exhibiting different transcendental symptoms of in their bodies, and they were merged in the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis who are chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavana, shouting, Queen of Vrindavan, Radha Rani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you? Where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhana or are you under the trees on the bank of Yamuna? Where are you? These were their moods in executing Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Oh, thank you so much. So this gives us an opportunity to meditate upon the Goswamis, their bhav, right? It explains over your gopi bhav. So they were lost. You can see in the last verse, they were lost in ecstasy of transcendental bliss, right? So they used to go to different pastime places in Vrindavan and they used to literally get those pastimes, get Dwapar Yuga back in their mind, and they would visualize here is what happened, here is, this kind of pastime happened here that kind of pastime happened, right? So they're calling out, where are you Krishna, where are you Radha? So they're missing them badly, right? They're in Vipralamba bhav. That is called highest stage of devotional service, right? It's very very rare to achieve, and once you achieve, you're not going to be here anymore. You're a liberated soul. You are actually, although you're here, you're not here anymore. You're actually in Goloka offering service to the Lord, right? So this explains how, like madmen in full ecstasy of Krishna, right? So they were merged in the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. So such people, so manjaris, right? They are not humans. I mean, they are not ordinary human beings or anything. They are straight away from Goloka. They do not even belong to this world. They are manjaris of Goloka, and that is Sakhi's assistants. Radharani's assistants are Sakhis. There are 108 Sakhis, right? Prominent Sakhis, and out of and these Manjaris are assistants of Sakhis. Okay, so they have a very prominent place in Goloka. So they're not normal humans. And all the six Goswamis, Shad Goswamis are Shad Manjaris, six prominent Manjaris of Vrindavan. So they were the one who came and conquered, sorry. They were the one who came and rediscovered the pastime places in Vrindavan. Vrindavan was completely covered with, okay, when Krishna left, after Krishna left in Kali Yuga, it was completely covered with sand and everything. The whole place was actually gone, Vrindavan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came down, when Krishna came down in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told Shad Goswamis, he gave them the responsibility of uncovering all the shut down places or covered places in Vrindavan, and to rediscover Vrindavan and reform Vrindavan, right? And today we have Vrindavan, we visit Vrindavan, it's all because of the Shad Goswamis. They were the one who have actually rediscovered it and made it good for us, right, to visit. And so that is the glory of Shad Goswamis. They have sacrificed their life for the Lord. So we will be learning more about them in the next module, Acharya's module, right? So before that, let's just finish with this module. So today is the Kalki Avatar in today's class. Today is going to be the last class of this module. Next week will be the orientation session for the next module, that is Acharya's module. Okay, and yeah, if we don't finish, then next class we will continue with Kalki Avatar. Okay, so last class we were learning about Buddha Avatar, right? So why did Buddha appear? Anybody knows? One line summary. Why did Buddha appear? Why did he come? What did he do? You can put your answers in the chat. Yeah.
To stop the non-violence by taking place.
Yeah, what exactly was happening, Mataji? What non-violence was, what violence was happening?
Animal slaughter. Animal slaughtering.
Yeah, animals were ruthlessly slaughtered, mercilessly slaughtered in Vedic sacrifices, right? So how did he stop?
He told them to stop reading Vedas.
Yeah, he told Vedas do not even exist. So stop slaughtering animals in the name of Vedic sacrifices. Right? Yeah, Haribol. Very nice. He prevented animal slaughtering. Right? So he, for the time being, for that particular sect of people, he told Vedas do not exist, soul doesn't exist, the body is a once for all. This animal dies, everything is over. There is no soul, no next janma, anything, because by misguiding them, he wanted to bring them to the right path, guide them. So by misguiding, Buddha guided all of them so that they all came to the mode of goodness. They stopped animal slaughtering. They stopped all kinds of ahimsa. Not just, I mean, they stopped all kind of himsa, right? Not just animal slaughtering, every kind of himsa. So he preached ahimsa cult and to bring people to the mode of goodness. In mode of goodness, if you preach scriptures, it will enter their mind, not in other modes, right? So Buddha actually prepared to learn scriptures and become Vaishnavas by bringing, right? So that's why Buddha incarnation is very smart. He acts very smart when he comes down, right? Next is Kalki avatar. Uh, as you see in the picture, what is Kalki doing? What is the main purpose of Kalki avatar? Anybody knows?
When the Kali Yuga ends, he just cuts off everybody's head, Mataji.
Why?
Uh, he ends the world for the next Yuga to come, Mataji.
Yeah, but why should he cut off the heads and end the yuga?
Because the people who were still living would have been sinful people, Mataji.
Yeah, exactly. They are all bad people. See, we've got multiple chances. Okay, all these years we have. There is next 10,000 years of Kali Yuga is said to be the golden age. After that, it's very bad. Okay. So Krishna, we have 10,000 years. That means we have multiple janmas and janmas. We can, in case we fail to go back home, back to Godhead in this life, we can take janma 1,000 years. We have to finish off our devotional service here in the material world, and go back home, back to Godhead. We have to get delivered. If you've not gotten delivered still, despite having the easiest way of going back home, back to Godhead, that is just chanting the holy name. If you still can't do that and take Krishna consciousness seriously and go back home, back to Godhead in this life or within these next 10,000 years, then it is considered that you do not want Krishna, right? So such people will be staying even after 10,000 years and even till the end of Kali Yuga. Okay, such people continue to do sinful activities, sins and sins and sins, because that's what they want. Krishna has given us the minute independence of desiring things, right? So people who do not desire Krishna will definitely desire Maya. They want to do sins. They want to gratify their senses, right? So only such people will exist, because all good people would have already gone back home, back to Godhead within these 10,000 years. Okay, so Kalki Bhagwan, what anyway, everybody who's existing now are all sinful. They've gotten multiple chances, multiple Vaishnavas have come and preached, multiple incarnations have come and preached. No use, no point. They have not learnt their lesson. So now I will be teaching them the lesson. So he just does not even look at faces, nothing. Whom he is killing, nothing. He just kills off, right? On a white horse he comes and just comes, and like a Dhumaketu, right? It's given over here like a comet. He just kills everybody and finishes, cleans the world, makes it so clean, so that Satya Yoga is a very auspicious yoga. It's full of mode of goodness, right? Like you see in in Satya Yoga, all demons were not even allowed on earth. They used to stay in a separate planet, like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. They used to stay in Patala Lokas and all bad dark planets. They were not even allowed on earth. Only these powerful demons got a lot of boons and all that, and then they started invading. Otherwise, it was completely different. It was only goodness and nothing else. All people were good, right? So as yugas passed, contamination started becoming more and more. And it was not really much in Satya Yuga. Then it became more in Treta Yuga. Then again, it increased in Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga, it became the most, right? So that is the main purpose of Kalki Avatar. Okay. This is a snippet from Dashavatar Stotra. One moment. One second. నిధని కలయాసి కరవాలం ధూమకేతుమివ కిమ్మపి కరాలం కేశవధృతా కల్కి శరీరా కేశవధృతా కల్కి శరీరా జయ జగదీశ హరే జయ జగదీశ హరే. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O assumed the form of Kalki. All glories to you who appear like a comet and carry a terrifying sword for bringing about an annihilation of the wicked barbarian men at the end of Kali Yuga. Okay, so this is the main one-line summary of why Kalki Avatar happened. Barbarian men, you can see over here, right? So people used to eat one another. So we will understand how the Kali Yuga situation will be when Kalki Bhagwan comes. Okay, it's very, it's actually horrible to even discuss, you know. So Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life, physical strength, memory will all diminish day by day because of powerful influence of age of Kali. Like I said, beginning of Kali Yuga, there was still some dharma prevailing, right? But going forward, nothing is going to be there. So 10,000, first 10,000 years, Prabhupada says it's going to golden age of Kali, as in it will be the best, much bad qualities will be there, but we are already seeing, right? People are killing each other, people are lying, people are doing everything bad. So this much itself we are not able to tolerate, but according to the scriptures this much is very good, you know, in Kali Yuga, because it's going to be more horrible going forward, right? So according for us, this only is not, you know, we cannot tolerate. You can imagine, right, what kind of people will be remaining after 10,000 years, after the golden age. So here Shukdev Goswami is explaining truthfulness. Now already people are lying, so no truthfulness. Cleanliness, people don't even take bath, they manage with perfumes, so no cleanliness. Tolerance, everybody gets angry. Mercy, animal slaughtering, right? In a major way, animal slaughtering is happening. Every lane has 2 to 3 slaughterhouses today, right? Nobody can even live without eating non-veg every day, right? Most of them. Duration of life, that cholesterol increases, all kinds of disease, duration of life will shrink. And then physical strength, memory power, everything will go. Memory power also is not there. Everything we need, our mobile phones and everything to check what has happened. We maintain 101 checklists also today, right? Because we are not we don't remember things. So all this is already happening, but according to the scriptures this is not bad, right? The intensity of all this will be even more after 10,000 years. Okay, so now, right now, we are thinking this is only bad, but it's not actually bad. Because some people, we still have temples alive, we still have scriptures alive, right? But after 10,000 years, nobody will read Bhagavad Gita. Nobody will, all Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, everything will be tied up and kept on top somewhere. It'll be full of dust and all that. Nobody will read. No God, no temple, nothing, right? So it's like children, there was a joke on Instagram saying children in the coming generations will say, they will, when parents take them to museums and all that, then they will see the idols, temple idols preserved there, and they'll be like, what is all this? Then the parents will say, once upon a time we used to worship idols here. That's how people children will be talked about. Temples, even devatas, god, everything will be historical characters for them. They will be reading in the book, oh, once upon a time they used to worship this particular god. Right. So that is how the situation is going to become. Okay, so it's given how the people in Kali Yuga will be. Prayanalpayusha sabya kalav asmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hyupadritaha. So in this Kali Yuga, men almost have short lives, always have short lives. Okay, so 100 years, nobody lives for 100 years. 100 years is what is allotted for Kali Yuga. Each of them should live for 100 years. Who is living for 100 years today? 80 years, people will be like, oh wow, he's living for 80 years. That in itself is a big, right? And then quarrelsome, right? Everybody happen. Dominating nature. If you don't agree to me, I will start fighting with you. That's the kind of attitude, right? They're lazy. That's why we have robots today doing things, even menial tasks, easy tasks, right? That also, we can't even take our phone and go scroll through the contacts. We have Alexa and all this Siri and all that, right? Doing it for us, right? So that lazy we are today. And then we are so misguided because people are not scripturally educated. Nobody is giving scriptural education in schools. That is a major problem, right? And then Navya will be able to understand this. Navya, how many of your friends take up Krishna consciousness? Not
Nobody.
everybody, right?
No, a lot of people don't know what Bhagavad Gita is.
Exactly. See, people
Most
don't
of them
even know
don't
what is
know.
Bhagavad Gita.
Even if they like give competitions for Bhagavad Gita, people will ask what it is.
Hari bol, very nice. Okay, so that is kind of civilization. It is misguided, unlucky, and above, right? That we are all experiencing that. This is the kind of qualities people will have in Kali Yuga. Okay, so here it's explained further. In Kali Yuga, wealth alone will be considered the sign of man's good birth, proper behavior, and fine qualities. How much do you earn? Based on that, your success will be rated, right? It is not about what struggles you went through to even open a small, say, a small roadside tea shop. Okay, they don't consider the struggles that you've undergone to open that. But if you open, say, 5-star owners, oh, they are successful, right? Even if it is inherited from their grandfathers and forefathers, they are just running it. It was all built by their grandfathers, but nobody considers that. They say, oh, he is the owner of 5-star hotel, so he's a successful person, right? But you have from scratch established a roadside business, but nobody even looks at it because that is roadside business, right? So in Kali Yuga, that's why Kali Yuga people are foolish. Okay, so wealth alone will be considered the sign Yuga, not anything else. But they don't understand that no, not even a penny of their wealth they are going to take back when they leave this world, right? What are they going to take back? They're going to take back a full suitcase full of something. What is that? Anybody knows? When we go to the graveyard, when we leave this body, we don't take back any wealth, but we take back a suitcase full of something. What is that?
Our sinful activities, Mataji.
Sins
Karma.
and goods, good, both deeds we take back. It's called karma, right? And the next life is going to be decided on, yeah, Haribol, Shreya Mataji has said, karma is what we take back, right? And our next life is going to be decided on that suitcase, what is there inside that, full of deeds, and that effects is going to be our next life, right? Not the wealth, not the 5-star hotel, nothing, right? So a man will be known as a brahmana just by wearing a sacred thread, just by birth. We've seen, no? They are so proud. I am a Brahmana. Now only we see so many people also. They're like, don't even touch me. I need to go take bath if you touch me. That's how they act. They don't even know what they're doing, why they are doing, nothing. Right? They have a sacred thread in their on their body, and it's called Yagnopavita, right? And then they say, I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Brahmana. And then they chant nicely shlokas, parrot-like chanting, and then they say they are Brahmana. Right? Do they even have any love for God? Right? So that's why Vaishnavas are above Brahmanas. That's why ISKCON allows everybody to become Brahmana by qualification, not by birth. right? Even a dog eater can become a Brahmana if he is qualified by qualities. Again, attain those qualifications, and then you are called a Brahmana. Otherwise, we all will become Ashwatthama. You know, right? Ashwatthama was Dronacharya's son. Dronacharya was a Brahmana. By birth, Ashwatthama, was said to be in a Brahmanic family by birth. And he was saying, boasting, I'm a Brahmana, I'm a Brahmana. And what did he do? And finally, he got cursed by Krishna, right? For all the foolish things. Cursed. He's still alive. Krishna said, you're not going to die. Suffering and suffering and suffering, right? So that is the curse that he got from Krishna. So let's not foolishly behave like Brahmanas. Let's attain Brahmanical qualities by, by qualification. Like, for example, Haridas Thakur, right? Haridas Thakur is a Muslim. But what is he known as? Nama Acharya. He chants 192 rounds every day. He used to chant, and finally, everybody's. He initiated so many people, including a prostitute, right? Who came to disturb him. He initiated her, and she became a Vaishnavi because of him. So he is a Vaishnava. He's beyond a Brahmanical platform, person, right? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnyam Maya Shrishtim. I only, created Chaturvarnya, Varna system, that is the caste system. But what I created is totally different from what is running today in the world, right? What did Krishna create? Krishna created Chaturvarnya, qualities and occupation of a person. Okay, not by birth. A doctor's son cannot become a doctor. A doctor's son has to go to college, take his MBBS degree, pass all the exams, everything, get a degree. Only then he can be called a doctor. Otherwise, will you go and get treated from that person who just claims to be a doctor? No, Brahmana is also same thing. It's an occupation. It's a position in the society. It's not a caste as such. Okay, so it's a class, it's not caste. Okay, Varna is a class, right? And it is created by Krishna for a purpose of maintaining social balance, right? Like Brahmanas are supposed to be intelligent class. They need to guide the entire society. If they're doing wrong, they need to guide them towards the right path, right? That is the Brahmanas qualification. Everybody cannot sit and say, I will study scriptures and I will guide everybody else to the right path. If everybody sit and becomes a Brahmana, who will do the administration? For that, we have Kshatriyas, right? They are doing the administration. And then come money. To run a city or something properly, you need money, right? So where is that coming from? In the form of taxes given by Vaishyas. They are commercial people. They have business and all that. They accumulate riches and all that. And then to run businesses, we need labors. For that, we have Shudras, right? So that there is a balance in the society. For that, Krishna created. But what are we doing now? A Shudra son is a Shudra. A Brahmana son is a Brahmana. What is that? Where are we heading? Right? That is not the way. So Krishna says, Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. According to the qualities you have and according to the occupation you're performing, the classes are there, and you can fall into each of those classes as and when you acquire those qualities, right? So this way, no, a Brahmana, if a Brahmana is a proud, is so proud of wearing a thread, how is he a Brahmana? He is not a Brahmana, because Brahmana's first quality is being humble, humility. He cannot be proud of anything, right? That is the first line in Bhagavad Gita. So if you're not humble, then you are not called a Brahmana. Just by wearing thread, you cannot become a Brahmana, right? So this is the kind of people we have in Kali Yuga, just claiming themselves whatever they want, right? Filling the belly will become a goal of life. Can you imagine, right? Here today, not today, every day, every yuga, animals are fed sumptuously, right? All animals are getting food. They don't go to office. Donkey eats, monkey eats, every animal eats. Lion eats, deer eats, tiger eats, right? No animal is starving and dying today. Dogs eat. Street dogs eat. They are not even adopted. Street dogs are every day. Do you see street dogs every day dying? No, they are alive. They are eating, right? They're getting food, right? So dogs are also getting food. Their goal of life might be okay, fine, filling the belly, because the entire day they keep searching for food. If humans' goal also becomes just filling the belly, then what is the difference between humans and dogs and animals, right? So human life is completely different. Durlabha Manava Janma. Manava Janma is very rare. And once you've gotten it, we need to understand the purpose of human form of life. It's given in the scriptures that human body is meant to perform devotional service to the Lord, because only human body has higher intelligence, not a dog, not a parrot. Okay, only human body can understand, because of the higher intelligence, a human body can understand the supreme absolute truth, right? And why is he given this higher intelligence? We need to ask ourselves, why have we got this higher intelligence, right? To who has given this to us? It's the Lord. It's the supreme power who's given it to us, right? And if he has given it to us, it is to serve him back with it, right? Gratitude. So all this we understand only in human form of life. And if we neglect this Krishna consciousness, okay, without taking this seriously, then and start making just eating, mating, sleeping, and defending our, no difference between us and animals, right? So we need to understand, he who can maintain a family will be regarded as an expert man, right? So we need to understand who is our supreme maintainer. Krishna. Ananyas chintayanto mam yejano paripashate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Krishna is saying, I am the maintainer. You just think of me, right? Whole day Ananyas chintayanto mam. You think of me, and in return, what I will give you? Yoga and Kshema. I will supply what you lack and I will preserve what you have. Krishna is saying that, right? So if we don't have anything, Krishna is going to supply it to us. And if we have, if we have something, Krishna is going to preserve it for us. He will not let it perish. Can you imagine? So who is the real maintainer? Of I already told you, animals do not go to office. How are they given food then? Who is giving them food? Ants are given food. Dolphins are given food. Every other animal, plants are given food. Who is giving them all the food? It is Krishna. So supreme maintainer is Krishna. When we forget, okay, fine, you don't want me to maintain, then you go maintain on yourself, right? And that's when our existence, struggle starts. We start losing jobs. We don't have money to buy proper food and eat, right? When does this all problem happens? When we forget the source of maintenance, that is Krishna, right? As long as we respect that source of maintenance, Krishna will ensure it is very easy for us to live our life, right? And the principles of religion will be observed only for the sake of reputation. Like I said, Brahmanas, right? If they don't talk about some shlokas, if they don't just chant 2, 3 shlokas every day, then people will say, what Brahmana is he? Is not chanting any shloka. So, only for the sake of reputation, they start observing religious principles, wearing the sacred thread. They don't want to wear, but because it is the symbol of Brahmanism, they will wear. Okay. So that is not the case. That is not the way, right? As the earth has becomes crowded with a corrupt population, whoever among any of the social classes shows himself to be the strongest political power, right? So it's like, what is that? Darwin's theory, some theory, it's there, no? The toughest will survive, the most strongest will survive, right? So that is what is going to happen. If you show more prowess, you'll be getting the position, right? It's not based on the qualifications, right? So they will get the political power. Losing their wives and properties to such avaricious and merciless rulers who will behave no better than ordinary thieves. The citizens will flee to the mountains and forests. This is uncivilization, right? This completely uncivilization in the name of politics, politicians, or whatever. They are just plundering the wealth and everything of common people, right? And common people, they don't know what to do. They just run off to the Himalayas and everything else. Okay, and there is more about Kali Yuga explained. So, harassed by famine and excessive taxes, people will resort to eating leaves and roots, wild honey, fruits, flowers, and Hare Krishna. I'm so sorry. There's a power cut here, so give me a moment. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay. So, because sacrifices are not performed properly, right? Demigods will not bless. Indra, they will not send rain. Uh, you know, sun god will not give sunshine. Okay, so what happens that time? Crops will not grow properly. Famine comes. Okay, famines and drought everywhere. And then what happens? They will not get proper food to eat. And what they will do? They will start eating whatever available, right? Flesh, wild honey. You can see in the picture. Just take honey directly from the tree and start eating, right? Because they want to survive somehow and they don't have anything, any proper fruits and whatever to eat. They start worse and
Mataji is having problems. Mataji will be joining in a second or so, in a minute or so. Please bear this.
Yes, Prabhuji.
What is this maker, the trademark? Concord. Concord, yes. Concord is famous tape record company. Is that right?
Oh, yes, Swamiji. But also you can make it an amplification system.
See, if you call...
But our machines are too close to one another, so there's a feedback. You have to be 12 feet away. Then it will amplify. That's what we were using when I was speaking to you.
Hare Krishna. It's like it's an amplifier.
You take to your teacher and give it to him. All right, this will do. Oh yes, this will do. This cup will do. Now, when the teacher saw that he is coming with a cup of sugar and promised that he would supply for whatever required, he would supply. Now, he became very angry. He cheated me like that. And so on. So, he, out of anger, he threw it. Now, after some time when he came back, he saw that the jugar is fallen down on the ground, but the pot is full. Then he tried again got it. So as much as he could take, he took, but the pot is always full. The pot is always full. So this is the position of spiritual. From spiritual, you may draw as much as you can, but it is always full. That is the spiritual idea. So God is so full, Purna. So if God comes out of God, still God is there. That is incarnation. If God himself comes out of God, so therefore God in
Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Mataji. I'll share the screen in a moment, Mataji.
Prabhu, I think we will do it in the next class because anyway we will not be able to complete the class today. We will not be able to complete it.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We will do it in the next class and then we will cover up the orientation also next class itself. I'm so sorry. There's raining here. It's raining and then there is no power right now and there's no internet also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. We will complete it in the next class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhu, please stop the YouTube live.
Yes, Mataji.